Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Loina Motiga. Karibuni sana. Yeah, how are you doing, farmers? How is the progress? Did you get the piece of land? Yes. If you did, now today we have the next step, the next farming step. For those that are doing farming, this is the next step is whereby you now test the soil pH of your piece of land. This is very important because of various types of crops do well in different types of soil pH. Therefore, you have to know what is your soil pH and which crops can do well in that soil pH. Okay, so that is why I want you to give you a systematic way of how you can test your soil pH so that you can know what you can plant in your farm. The first step that you have to do is to collect a soil sample. From that farm that you have is where you'll collect your soil sample. You will use a shovel to dig, because you don't go and collect the soil that you're stepping on, or the soil on the ground. No, you have to dig first. For the dig 1 feet deep. Once you get to 1 feet deep, collect the soil that is in that 1 feet deep. Put it in either a plastic collecting bag or a container. Then on the same spot, dig further until you get to 2 feet. Collect the same soil, yeah, and put in a different container. Be very keen so that you label the containers according to the feet. If this is 1 feet and this is the second feet, make sure you label them. Another thing, you do not collect the sample soil from one place. You first of all collect either from one point, move a few feet, collect another sample soil from another place, move some more other further feet. Okay, don't collect from one area. Move around the farm and collect different sample soils across the regions that you'll have selected for you to collect the sample soils from. Okay, another thing, make sure once the shovel that you're using to dig the 1 feet and the 2 feet, make sure after you've dig the first feet, you clean your shovel so that the soil in the first feet does not mix with the soil in the second feet, because once they mix you will get a very wrong reading, of which that is not our intention. Okay, I'm going now to tell you two ways in which you can test your soil pH. Are they two? Yes, the home way that you can test your soil pH, and the laboratory way in which you can test your soil pH. After you have collected your soil samples, make sure you clean, or you select the roots. You select and remove the roots, the stones, the debris, all the unwanted materials in your soil. Remove that before you can start the process of testing your soil pH. And to the next step is where you test now your soil pH. To the soil samples that you have collected, add in distilled water. Why do you use distilled water? We're using distilled water so that it does not alter with the soil pH. Make sure you do not put any other thing, because if you prefer using other thing, what else can you use? There are different, like normal water. The water has some what can I call them? Has some minerals that are not in your soil, and that might alter your soil pH. So use distilled water and mix with your soil to form a paste-like consistency. And then to that paste-like consistency, I'll start with the laboratory way. The laboratory way is the most preferred way for testing your pH, because you'll get the exact pH of your soil, unlike the home way of testing for your soil pH. So for the laboratory way, you can either use a soil pH meter. You read against what you see in the soil, how your soil appears, you read against the soil pH meter. Or you can also use a test strip. Yeah, you observe and see at what is the range of the fertility of the pH of your soil that you are testing. Those are the two most approved way. If it's possible, have a technician who will help you read your soil pH, or who will help you know what is the soil pH. These people have the knowledge that a general farmer do not have. But if you do not, you cannot manage to get one, even if you read yourself, it's so clear, you'll be able to know what is the pH of your soil range after you add in your distilled water. Okay. Number two, these are the people using the home test. If you're going to use the home test, there are two things that you can add to your soil. After adding the water, you can now add in vinegar, yes, or baking soda. Those are two different things. And if in the mixture that if you add vinegar and it fizzes, produces some bubble like things, when you add the vinegar, it means that your soil is an alkaline soil type of soil. Okay. And if you add your baking soda and it fizzes, it means the soil is acidic. It is that simple. I don't think there's no one that won't understand or won't be able to do that. If you have no reaction, if you add baking soda or you add your vinegar and there is no any reaction, it means that your soil is alkaline. Okay. So those are the things that you have to note. But for the best results, I've said, please consider consulting a technician to come and test your soil pH personally, or take those soil samples and take them to the lab for testing. At that point, you will get the perfect most soil pH reading. But for the home testing, I have said you can use either baking soda or vinegar to test for your soil pH. I hope that was clear and that was simple. We have said you collect soil that is from first 1 feet deep and another one 2 feet deep. In the next vlog, we will be talking about soil fertility, so that you will know, is my soil fertile before even you start planting as a farmer, and you'll be able to know what type of fertilizers do I have to buy. After you have looked at the soil pH and the fertility of your soil, it's when now we'll take the next educational step of knowing which plants do I plant to my farm. And after I plant them, which type of fertilizers am I expected to use to this farm. I hope that was simple, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the vlog. Thank you for watching till the end of the vlog. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, share, hit that notification bell so that each and every time I'll be uploading, you'll be notified. Bye bye.